Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to the Kingdom Wars. So, if you're a viewer of this channel, you know that I've talked a lot about spiritual warfare, spiritual self defense. But now we're going to take this to the next level. We're going to teach offensive spiritual warfare. We're going to expose the methods of the enemy, and we're going to talk about the strategic methods and processes that demons use to control the people of this earth. You see, you've been taught, if you've been taught at all about demons from other sources, you've been taught that there's some kind of disembodied spirits and they sit on your shoulder and whisper in your ear, and that is part of the truth. But what you may not understand is how organized they are. What you may not understand is how they target you. And what you may not understand is that demons aren't disembodied. Most of them are living in host bodies of human beings on this earth. You see, the Bible tells us that we are the children of God, but we know that the whole world is under the sway of the evil one. What does it mean to be under the sway of the evil one? At most, people think, well, they're being manipulated by the devil or they're being tricked, that demons trick people. But under the sway means under the control of. You see, unless you're a child of God, then you're under the control of the evil one. And that doesn't mean like just influenced. That means he's in control of everything these people do. People that are not the children of God, no matter how good they appear, no matter how it seems like they might be doing good things, they might be in the pulpit of a church, they might be in the state house, they might be in the police station, they might be in the hospitals and institutions, they might be in your school. Shoot, they're probably in your own family. And no matter how good they look, if they are not children of God, then they are under demonic control. That is the big takeaway here. Because as I've said many times before, there is a war for not just the souls of human beings, but for control of this planet. You see, if there weren't any people here, the demons wouldn't waste their time, because this is God's natural creation. But when he put humans here and he gave us free will, then it became a battlefield. This became uh, a contentious occupation, okay? And unless you are a child of God, then you are being controlled by the devil. People around you are under the complete and total control of demons, even if they don't act like they're demon possessed, even if they seem normal. And if you watch people, if you see the devil at work in people's relationships, if you see people going around hurting each other, if you see people acting greedy, if you see people acting selfish, if you see people who use and manipulate others for their own benefit, it's easy for you to believe that everybody's like that and it's human nature. But it's really not. Human nature is really more like your beloved pet. Like, we are capable naturally, because we're made in God's image, we're naturally capable. And our normal state of being is that of unconditional love, that of sacrificial love. Like, a pack of dogs, and one's willing to give up his life to defend the pack, right? That the care and nurturing that a mother has naturally for a child is the natural state of all humans. But in comes the enemy to steal, kill, and destroy. To not just influence you, but take control of your decisions, take control of your thought life. The devil's out and his demons are out to control every aspect of your existence, unless you're a child of God. We know we're the children of God, but the whole world is under the sway, under the control of the demonic. It's in our institutions, it's in our churches, it's in our government, it's probably in our family, and maybe in your relationships even, your closest trusted friends. So how do you know if you're a child of God? How do you know if someone around you that you trust is a child of God? Well, it boils down to one simple fact. Children are dependent on their parents. A human child, is born into existence in this world completely incapable of taking care of themselves. Jesus Christ said that you can't even see the kingdom of God. You not only can you not be a participant in the kingdom wars, you can't even see the kingdom until you become like a little child. What is a little child except completely dependent upon their father? So, are you a child of God? Are people around you the children of God? Or are they under the control of the demonic? Have they already lost the word of the devil? Are they already working tirelessly and endlessly to bring grief and tragedy into your life? How do you tell if someone is a child of God? It boils down to one thing: submission. Are you a child of God? You are if you've submitted to God. You know, churches have taught you that you say a little prayer and you get your get out of hell free card, right? You get your fire insurance, then you can go on with your life living in the natural world, not ever thinking about spiritual things, never seeing things through a spiritual lens, only through an earthly lens, a lens colored and fogged by this demonic power that is in control of your life, whether you know it or not. How do you know if you're a child of God and not under the sway of the wicked one? Then you lean on God for everything. You lean not on your own understanding. You don't take matters into your own hands. You don't make powerful decisions without falling on your face before God saying, God, guide me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a helpless child. To be a child of God, you have to lay yourself down before the throne. You have to give up your power to Him. You have to give up your free will to the will of God. Not my will, but thine be done. It's in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Not my will, your will, Lord. Submission to God is the beginning of being a child of God. And people that are kind of committed to God, people that may, this song, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, if you got to give Jesus the wheel, what were you doing driving to begin with? He should have been driving your car. Right? He should have been in control all along. Right? There used to be a bumper sticker that said, God is my co-pilot. That's how old I am. This is a really old bumper sticker. God is my co-pilot. And then somebody else came up with a better one that said, if God is your co-pilot, switch seats. How do you know if you are a child of God? Who's driving your life? Is it you? Do you toil over decisions? Do you make decisions based on emotion? Do you make decisions based on your own desires, need, greed? Or are you the kind of person that every day submits to God and says, Lord, you are the master of my life. I'm nothing but a child, an empty vessel. Fill me, Lord, with your spirit. Fill me, Lord, with your knowledge. Fill me, Lord, with your mercy and grace. For I am nothing but an infant, incapable of existing in this war-torn world we call planet Earth. Everyone else that doesn't do that, I don't care if they got a white collar and a fancy cloak and a scepter and a little pope hat. I don't care if they're the head of the school board. I don't care if they're the president of the United States. If they don't get up every morning and lay themselves at the altar, if they don't get up every day, you don't got to pray 24/7. You just got to have this decided attitude that without God, I'm nothing. I'm nothing on my own. I'm an empty vessel. I'm a child. I'm a babe in the woods. I'm fuel for these demons to feed on without God's protection. See, I wore my war hat today because we're going to expose the truth. that the whole world, this evil world we live in, is under the control of the evil one, because it's filled with people who are not children of God. They have not laid down their will. They do not want God's will for their life. They want what they want, and they know what they want because their desires are being implanted into their mind by the devils that are in control of this world. You can see the programming everywhere. They don't call television programming for nothing, right? They put desires in your heart. What they have done to change the nature of the man-woman relationship, what the demons have done to our base culture, this central union that makes families possible, that makes our country possible, this recipe of since the beginning of time of the man-woman relationship, what this programming has done to that, it's mind-boggling. You see, they're implanting demonic instruction into your mind unless you're a child of God. If you're a child of God, it makes you virtually immune to this. They can say, you should desire this thing, Sage Wanderer. And I'll say, I desire what God desires for my life. The demons would say, hey, Sage, you desire this new pickup truck. You desire this fancy boat. You desire this hot girlfriend. You desire this exciting life. But I have no desires of my own anymore. You know, I'm leading y'all because I finally crossed over completely. There's levels of submission. But I finally absolutely don't care what happens to me. I got one bee under my war hat here. I got one bee in my bonnet, and that is I hate the devil and what he's doing to our planet. What he's doing in your life, I hate him for it. And I'm going to talk to some people specifically, but this could be good for any of you. But it's going to ring specifically to people, and I'm going to name them. Emily, God has a plan for your life. You are special. Do you know why it looks like so much misfortune and so much calamity is befalling your life? Because you are a threat and you're on the edge of releasing yourself and your desires in favor of what God has planned for your life, and the devil will do anything he can to stop you. Craig, this last cycle you went through, where we held on to each other and I helped you through it. I won't go into details, but this fight that you fought, that you thought you were going to lose, that sapped your will and your desire to live, made you feel like a slave to it. That was because the devil's trying to stop you from becoming who you are. Look how you persevered through that. Look at the fruit it produced. You plucked a soul from the devil's hands, and he's scared to death you're going to do it again. Steve, my Tennessee buddy, the devil's tried to keep you in concern and fear. That he's encapsulated you into a cage of fear. Because he's scared to death you're going to figure out that the only thing that matters is spiritual things. That the devil can't touch you if your spirit's in the right place. That God's protection is all you need. And you don't have to cover yourself up in security. You don't have to wrap yourself in fear, because you are a child of God and the devil is scared to death you're going to figure it out. And I think those three prophetic words could be applicable to many of you. Many of you are powerful warriors in training. Many of you are standing at the precipice of real victory. But you've got to realize that although we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers of wickedness in high places, those powers of wickedness aren't floating around they're fully entrenched in the people around you. They're fully attached and absorbed into these other people who aren't children of God. They have not paid the price. They have not surrendered their will. They have not confessed their sins. They have not made decisions for the kingdom. They have not made decisions for good, but have made decisions for what they think is their self. But what's so sad, it's not even their own selfish desires. You've been taught by the church that your desires are human-based. But let me tell you, they're implanted programming by the powers of darkness. They put those desires in your heart. They put those desires for drama in you. They put those desires for wealth in you. They put those desires to put yourself first, and they made you think that you're a king. But if you want to be a king, there's only one pathway to kingship, and that is through inheritance. You're joint heirs with Christ if you become a child of God. If you submit your will to Him, if you surrender everything in this world and only embrace God's will for your life, God will elevate you. He'll give you a battlefield commission. You'll go from a buck private to a sergeant. You'll get a field promotion to lieutenant. Before you're neck deep in this war, and you start to get the awards, right? Next thing you know, you're general, because you're of royal birth through Christ. When you're a child of God, you're somebody. But if you try to be somebody without Him, the demons inhabit you, because the only people who are not under the sway of the wicked one are the children of God. And I'd like to say that every man that occupies a pulpit, every man or woman or deacon or elder that occupies leadership in our churches, I wish they were all children of God. But you can tell, I don't have to convince you. I don't have to prove this to you. You've seen it in the headlines. You've seen it in the stories that have been told. You know, just recently, one of my early mentors, the founder of the Gateway Church in Texas, Grapevine, Texas, South Lake, somewhere up there, he just got busted for being an abuser of underage girls. And he had to resign his position. And I believe he's under prosecution, right? Jimmy Swaggart, Jim Baker, Benny Hinn, right? What's the guy that was the head of the Southern Baptist Convention, right? The SBC. These men of God were not children of God. They weren't even men of God. They were men of ambition. They were men of desire. They were under the sway of the evil one the entire time. You see, demons masquerade as angels of light. But let me tell you something. When you really submit to God, when you become a child of God, then you get discernment, right? And as long as you follow that discernment, you're going to see huge gains in your spirit life, in your family life, in your relationships, in your finances. You're going to get the things that all of these other people are desiring and stabbing each other in the back to get. You're going to get them freely given to you when you become a child of God, but not as long as you surround yourself with all of these people. This is why, to some degree, isolation is important. You cannot allow somebody who is under the sway of the devil, who's under the literal control of demons, to be instrumental or impactful in your life. You can see them at the store, you can interact with them at work, but if you bring them close, right, it'll just be one psychic spiritual attack after another. They don't have to be a witch to be involved in witchcraft. They don't even have to know what it is. All they have to do is to be under the sway of the evil one. In this series, this may be the new focus of this channel, but in this series, we're going to uncover the systems. We're going to uncover the unknown. If you've been walking around this world thinking that good people who aren't surrendered to God have a place in your life, right? That you think they should have authority just because they're good people, then what you're really doing is voting for and siding with the demonic, because they're all under the sway of the evil one, the whole world, unless you're a child of God. So during this series, we're going to expose the methods, how the devil gang stalks you. That these aren't just demons floating around whispering in people's ears, but they live in the people around you. And even though this person may not know this person, their devils know each other, and they talk and they strategize and they come up with designs and methods to bring you low, to remove your kingship, to take away your birthright, to remove you from God's will in your life so they can wreak destruction and chaos and poverty and sickness and pain into your life. Now, the people, they're just people, right? We battle not against flesh and blood. I feel sorry for the people that are under the sway of the evil one. I feel sorry for myself when, even though I thought I was a child of God, I wasn't submitted to him, and therefore I was under the sway of the devil. I wish I had those years back. I didn't understand this. I wasn't taught this. That you can't be a child unless you lean on God. You can't be a child of God unless you're completely submitted to him. You can't be a child of God if you're always going to put a ham sandwich in your pillowcase and your stuffed animal under your arm every time you don't get your way, and march off down the road and run away. Run away from God. Do your own thing. I did that for years. I fought with God. I fought with God really up until recently. And I am no longer under the sway of the evil one. In fact, I'm angry. I'm ticked off. I'm ticked off that we keep falling for the okie doke. We keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We're not falling for any banana in the tailpipe. We keep losing to the deception. And a big part of it is desire. Submitting your will also submits your desire. I don't desire things. I desire what God wants for me. I don't pursue things. I pursue God, and he gives me things. And I am sick and tired of seeing the devil deceive you all. If you are serious about putting an end to tragedy, there's no such thing as bad luck, right? There's no such thing as misfortune. Bad luck, misfortune, bad things happening to you, that's a direct result of a well-executed demonic plan against your life to bring you low, to bring you down to the devil's level, to remove you from your kinship, your birthright, to remove you from your rightful place at God's right hand. It's to stop you from being joint heirs with the kingdom. See, there's two kingdoms, a kingdom of light and a kingdom of darkness, and they battle and they struggle and they fight against one another. And the battlefield is you and me, unless we become children of God. If you valued this message, if you would like to join me in this fight, I need your financial support. I live off exclusively the gifts from viewers. And I know the economy's tough, and I'm kind of the canary in the coal mine. If it's tough for you, it gets real tough for me. And it's okay, because I rely on God. I'm a child of God, but God's relying on you. I mean, he's the vine, and we are the branches. He's relying on you to hear his voice, to contribute to this channel. So if you hear that still small voice going, Sage needs you. If you hear that still small voice going, I feel like God wants me to help this person, then now is the best time. I've been through a recent loss, and I don't feel like it was a loss. I feel like it was completion of a mission, right? God put me on a mission. I completed it. Now I'm waiting for the next thing. No, I'm not. I've got the next thing. The next thing is this series, waking you all up. But if you want to partner with me in this, if you want to join the resistance against the demonic forces who are controlling this planet, then one of the strongest moves you can make right now, external moves. You got to make those internal moves. You got to change your way of thinking. You got to give up those I used to call them earthly desires, but let's just say what they are. Those demonic desires, right? You got to submit to God. But then the next action, the most powerful thing you can do right now is contribute to this, because I'm on a mission from God. I feel empowered. I feel strengthened. I feel mobilized. I'm I'm kind of a tool in God's toolbox, and He just took me out, polished me up, and there is a mission, a job to complete. Partner with me in this through your thumbs up, your comments, taking this to heart, really trying to understand it, and supporting this channel financially through the links in the description below. And we'll see you next time from the battle for the kingdom wars.